I could do that. This is way back at the beginning.
She saw Whitechapel Club.
She saw the white, which is a skit that we put on, and I played Dr. Spray. I just peeled mozzarella cheese off a fake skull like I was eating skin. That was my role.
I still have your Dr. Spray button.
You
I really do.
Oh my God.
She got pregnant.
So anyways, she started, and when there was the very first National Slam, which was in San Francisco, we had a big contest in Chicago. All Chicago participated in it. And she was one of the, well, she actually pre-selected you. Dean Hacker won the contest. It was Patricia Smith, Cin Salach, myself, and Dean Hacker. She is a member of the very first ever Poetry Slam team champion. She's the very first Poetry Slam champion. And the biggest thing she ever did was, not the biggest thing, but the most wonderful thing she did, she was one of the very first ensemble groups. She came on the stage with the Loofah Method.
Yeah!
Video screen, film. I don't know why I brought you up here just to stand there and look down. You can go sit down. My good friend Cin Salach. Welcome, Cin Salach.
Songs one and two. I am not sure how to dance the abandoned tame gin. To just float on my back, breathing is new. I am still unknowing this. Flowers are next. 3, 2, 1. I am moving. I come undone. The stillness here moves me. I see the glass. Negative crash of the flat bay. I see it is stone. I lay myself in a sky as flat as the bay. I pick up each stone and hold it in my mouth. Nothing is moving. I learn all the stones on the shore, but I am flying. I come to the shore. The tide makes its way to the rock. I sell the house. The rock makes its way to the body. I relinquish the keys. The body makes its way to her, negotiating. I say yes. Here's my nose, my elbow, my grief. Here is my molar, my cheekbone, my crazy. Here is my belly, my thigh, my sweet. Here is my shoulder, my ankle, my thinking. Here is my hamstring, my hard, my help. Here is my bladder, my eyes, my fail. Here is my old, my hysteria, my moon. Here is my baby. My dreams bring me down to the water. If I close my eyes just after waking, the images come back. I am scrambling down a rocky hill to reach the water. I am running away from my brother, father, husband to reach the water. I am ignoring all posted signs to reach the water. And when I reach the water, it's daylight. But the water is so dark. I find a place I know is safe, and I slip in and I swim. I swim well, efficient and slippery, but always on the lookout, always peering under with my goggles, always keeping an eye on the shore, horizon, rock that might not really be a rock. And I swim, and I keep swimming until I am awake. To make something with your own hands, to love your body, to see the body of the one you love, to make something with your own hands, to love your body, to touch the body of the one you love, to make something with your own hands, to love your body, to want the body of the one you love, to make something with your own hands, to love your body, to feed the body of the one you love, to make something with your own hands, to love your body, to touch the body of the one you love, to make something with your own hands, to love your body, to know the body of the one you love, to make something with your own hands, to love your body, to taste the body of the one you love, to make something with your own hands, to love your body, to love the body of the one you love. This stage rocks. Oh man, so I have a new book. When I Am Yes.
Turn on the
And
sun.
when I'm on this stage, I am yes. And way back in the day, before performance poets had books, before we wrote poems down, we would come here every Sunday night, and this was our school, this was our workshop. We would sit and we would drink and we would write and we would try to sign up for open mic before we forgot what we just wrote, and we would come up on the stage, and that's the way we did it. And then an amazing poet, Luis Rodriguez, and he started a press, Tia Chucha Press. And he said, these are good poets. And he started publishing the performance poets, and then he went on, and he's still publishing amazing poetry. And but so now we're poets and we have books. So we decided, perhaps we should work on our craft a little bit. So we started getting writers groups. So when I say we, I mean me. I started looking for writers groups, right? Maybe I should figure out what I'm doing up here. And I got really lucky because I fell into just some amazing circles of poets. Mike and Mary are two of them. And one of the poets in my group, who I was really, really inspired by, his name is Chris Green. He had twins, and so he had to leave the group. He said he was kind of busy, and so but we really missed him, and so we all wrote poems to get him back. This is mine. Your tender ear, Chris Green. Dear Chris, I wrote an entire poem to you while I was checking email last night, another while I was giving Leo a bath and reading him stories, another after I loaded the dishwasher and pushed the start button. You would have been impressed. But I did not actually write them. They wrote themselves in and out of my head before I could find fingers, pen, paper, and one toddler-free second to bring them all together. Ah, dear Chris. I just typed 2 lines I wish were as good as the ones in the non-existent poems I wrote last night, but they weren't, so I deleted them. It is still me and you, waiting for poetry to find us. Dear Chris, nothing is a clock. The middle of the night doesn't always mean sleep. The morning doesn't always mean there won't be a table full of open wine bottles on your front porch. And it's Sunday. What does that mean? Every time I start a new paragraph, a little icon pops up and tells me it looks like I'm writing a letter, and would I like some help? I just typed letter with 3 T's, and it was corrected by my computer unprompted. Yes. Yesterday, I got an email from my oldest best friend. 44 years ago, our parents bought houses across the street from each other. She wrote that the day before, she had come home from running errands to find her firstborn son, 21 years old, dead in his room. She had the caramel ice cream that he had requested before she left. I broke into sobs. I kept breaking into them. Her tender email held me. Just last month, Leo and I visited her in her suburban home. I looked at pictures of her 2 boys, unable to imagine Leo that big. I remember when your girls turned 2, Chris. I asked how it felt to be the father of 2 2-year-olds. You answered, they're still alive. I smiled. You said, I'm serious. Everything is unprecedented. Everything has happened. How does that work? It is unprecedented that I am the mama of a 20-month-old boy asleep in the next room. This breaking is how we let the light in. That's what Leonard Cohen sings, but it's not the light I am trying to let in. Dear Chris, no, I don't need help writing this letter. I was once in love with a woman who was very good at letting in the dark, and she left me with some great skills for doing just that. But I've gotten rusty. The weather today is light enough to let the dark float inside. Soft and black and unflinching. I float inside both of them as I pour unfinished wine into the sewer in our street and bag up the empty bottles. I see a small sweatshirt, boys, and little shoes, girls, left on different porches, memories of last night's block party. It is hard to match everything up in the pitch of darkness, especially small things to small things. Much easier to wait for the light. Waiting, Cin. Can I sit next to you while you write a poem, Mama? If you do not ask me any questions, yes. I won't ask you any questions. Okay. Can I touch your hair? Yeah, that's a question. He's poking my head with his foot. I don't know how much time is left on the timer. I don't know how much time is left on anything. He is lying on his side and he is having a hard time. It's a showdown. He pushes me out of my chair. I get up and I tell him the timer is being turned off and there is no popsicle. He says he will sit still and he moves over. I tell him, if he takes his uneaten half hot dog into the kitchen, throws it away, comes back and sits quietly, we will try again. I watch his tiny, perfect body run to the kitchen and back. Are you going to write poetry? Yes, I'm going to eat poetry, Mama. He is sitting on the arm of the chair next to me naked, holding a baking sheet with pieces of rice cake. He says they are green eggs and ham. He is smiling and putting his rice cake breath right in my face. Do you like green eggs and ham, Mama? He is climbing on my head. He is wrapping his legs around my shoulders. Rice cake is falling down all around me. Leo, are you going to get a popsicle today? Yes. Have you been letting Mama write quietly? Yes. No. Ask for things and spill things. I won't spill anything, Mama. If you can sit next to me quietly for 5 minutes, we can have a popsicle. I can, Mama. I think you can too. We are sitting quietly. I am pulling for him. He waves to me. He is sitting next to me, waving. What was that noise, Mama? Honey, no questions until the timer goes off. Oh, Suzanne, oh, don't you cry for me. I've gone to Louisiana with a banjo on my knee. Am I big enough for gum? No, honey. Is Ernie? Nope. Is Bert? Nope. Is my octopus? Nope. He stands next to my computer making music. He is doing it to bug me, but he is winning me over. Now he is running to get more instruments. He is digging through his instrument basket. Aha, cymbals. The loudest, most annoying of all instruments. He is so proud of himself. It is a big crashing sound, threatening and exhilarating all at once. Cymbals in my face, cymbals in his ear, cymbals in his mouth. Check, check, check. I'm going to write a song about bikes, Mama. Bikes and banjos and tambourines and lights. Check, check. Hey, Mama, where are our lights? The timer goes off. It is amazing the things that we do with popsicles now. Popsicle. And this little collaboration with him, he had now turned 3. The first months, after the first months, Leo, do you know Hannah Rand? Me. I do. Is she in your band? Leo. No. I'm in my band. Me. Is there anyone else in your band? Leo. A bunch of little Leos. Me. Is that the name of the band? Leo. No, that's who's in the band. A bunch of little Leos? Yes. Do they all play the same instrument? Yes. What instrument do they play? Violin. So the whole band is little Leos playing the violin? Yes. Turning and taking the blow. Tires bent in, no paint chipped, no police, but a big tow truck, a gentle tow truck, a ride back and home, a lovely gesture, a body shop, a system, an insurance card, a number, another number, a tiny piece of paper with so many numbers, and a friend, an old friend blocking the harsh wind. I take the sugar hit for him, eating the sugar babies out of his birthday take-home gift bag after he is in bed. I take as many hits as I can for him, his perfect 3-year-old body hit-free. I am not myself today. I am parakeet, sea otter, little ducky. I am staring at salty waves beyond where private is safe, where public is open, because my son and my father, my mother, because I don't have to know. How can we feel strong? Trusting something will not end, then letting it end and trusting that. Summer solstice. We have giant birds with red breasts in the blooming tree out front. They land and the green bends. When you landed on my head, my heart, my whole world bent and shimmered green and light to hold you. And I am permanently open now since you fell in. I am permanently open now since you fell in and I fell in after you. And the world has woven itself into something like a net to hammock us while we sleep. And until we wake each morning, we wake each morning, we wake each morning and say, yes. Thank you. I have one more. And I just want to say, Mark Smith, thank you so much.
Thank you.
After the first time I did the open mic, and I was up here with my shaking hand, reading my poem, and Mark had that twinkle in his eye, and I was like, this is it. This is the place. I want to spend the rest right here. And I went home and I quit my full-time job, and my dad said, what? What? Just got it. But you know, it all worked out. It all worked out. And,
Yes.
So, Blackbird. Blackbird, I followed you past 5 window screens. Then watched you land and dive, and when, out of something to watch you through, I closed my eyes to see you fly. We move in twos, and your lonely cry woke new the day, so it had no choice but to break away and find another. Not merely an echo, but a lover, hoping to go where your wings know no other home. Like you, my road lies ceaselessly blue, and I question a sky unable to hide the way we are born, this ache for more than just ourselves to waken to. And someone in our final hour who knows the total of our lives, how high we flew and how we wept when we met our other, and we knew. Thank you so much. Bill and writing poems and coming up here, and that this is their testing ground. I brought one just in case. It's a new poem, and it is called "Lesbians Don't Need Man Caves." We watch as 2 men, one with a circular saw, one with a pitchfork, climb onto the peeling roof of our garage and peel it more, piece by piece, until suddenly, no roof, sunshine. Then walls fall, then a giant dumpster arrives, and all the crap from all the owners that had occupied our garage and then left cans of dried up paint, cans of dried up stain, cans of dried up toxic stuff to cover the cans of dried up paint and stain, caulking guns in a surprising variety of sizes, and tubes of dried up caulk that fit none of the caulking gun sizes. So many extension cords and screws. Boxes of screws, cups of screws, bags of screws, a box of screws and nails mixed together, parts of things with no matching parts, crusty tarps, and 4 ladders. I kept the ladders. The men on my block ask, so, when's the new garage going up? And I grin and spin in the sunshine of my suddenly giant, because the garage took up 85% of my backyard, and now it doesn't. Now I store sunshine and space, lots of space to grow, to play, to be, because it turns out 6-year-old boys don't need man caves either. The men working on my neighbor's 3, no 4, no 6-month kitchen remodel watch the garage come down too and smile in that crazy, she must be a lesbian, or at least an artist way, when I answer, nope, no new garage. And then I ask them to please move their truck off the decorative grass next to my fence, because it looks dead, I say, but it's alive underground, so could you please move your truck? And they do, because, you know, who knows what I'm capable of? Lesbian, artist, and this just-in woman in menopause. So seriously, move your truck. I am not storing shit for anyone anymore, including myself. I am not letting it block my light or dust up my air or get in the way of possible. Lesbians don't need man caves. We need space that goes on forever. Space for time to stretch out so endlessly the past and the future have room to meet and then move on, letting this day open to a new and lovely light.
Woo!
Cin Salach, and a big round of applause. And a tradition, Mom and Dad, we used to come here all the time for years. Out here. Cin Salach's Mom and Dad. Right up there. Give them a round of applause. We're going to take a little break. We'll be back with the famous slam competition, so get another drink, take another lead. We'll be back.